In a futuristic world dominated by corporations, all systems, Red tells the story of a being neither completely human nor machine, but who is beset by a multitude of relatable emotions. Even though the first instance of the Murderbot Diaries is short, as are the following books of the series, its length does not diminish the quality of the narrative. If anything, it manages to squeeze a surprising amount of depth and entertainment into the thrilling story of Murderbot troubled by existential crisis and newfound feelings that are both fun and intriguing to read. The plot of All Systems Red is relatively straightforward, although the mystery regarding the protagonists and the unknown threat is compelling. It's when the story spends its time developing the conflicting relationship between the Murderbot's internal turmoil and how it affects his interactions with the humans that the story truly excels in engaging the reader. It is pleasant to see that some ingrained notions, such as how humans are supposed to feel or act towards certain situations, like the offer of freedom, are constantly and cleverly subverted. This serves as a fascinating reminder that although the being telling the story may feel similar emotions as the rest of the crew, they are not bound by the preconceived rules that govern our behavior or set our goals to stone. Emotional restlessness aside, the plot drives the story forward with a healthy amount of tension. The clever use of the futuristic technologies established presents unique twists and turns that never stretch thin the thread of believability, which can easily happen with how flexible technology can become when hidden behind nonsensical mumbo-jumbo disguised as advanced science. For instance, the technological assets available to the storytelling of All Systems Red act as tools to aid the engagement, rather than relying on them as crutches to close or solve problems. Always an excellent thing to see. Thus, when all the technicalities are familiar to the reader, we get a fast, intriguing, and lighthearted story that will flow so naturally and end so satisfyingly fast that you will find yourself looking for the next book before you realize it. Saying that I had fun reading All Systems Red is an understatement, but there were some prose stylistic choices that made me frown a little. Namely, the use of symbols like the plus and minus signs and the frequent use of parentheses, which were visually distracting, not to mention unsightly. If the use of such a method enhanced the story in any way, I could have overlooked it with a slight frown, but the instances they were used could have easily been substituted by the normal approach. Is it a big deal? Absolutely not. Yet, I'm somewhat prickly on the visual side of things. Though by the end of the book I was mostly acclimated to such an unusual style, I would rather it be absent in the books to come. I always found it odd when people say they read a book in one sitting, being such a fidgety reader myself. However, All Systems Red's short length and the thrilling story all but guarantee that it will be finished in a single session. The story delivers a good amount of action, emotion, mystery, and interesting concepts that are made all the better by how captivating the Murderbot is as a character, and its short length is a breath of fresh air to those who are burned out by the tome-length books we see more and more often. All in all, I already have Artificial Condition downloaded and ready and look forward to seeing what the corporation-ruled world has in store for the Murderbot. Thank you for watching. What are your feelings toward this book? I would love to hear all about it in the comments below. Consider subscribing if you want to see more reviews like this. See you at the next one.